Good morning, guys. I promised to make the video to several people, but most of all I'm making this video for Dr. Tennant, or maybe for Jerry, since you're one of the few men who sat next to my naked body. No, I'm sorry. Okay, I make this video. Today is Tuesday morning. I came back from Irving last Sunday, and it's early in the morning. It's Costa Rica here. And I wanted to share what I've learned over the last 10 years and what I practice and what I teach people, because there are a lot of similarities. What drew me to the information of Dr. Tennant? Well, for me it makes sense that the whole world is electromagnetical. That the earth is magnetical, the sun is electrical, sends out its electrons, and there are other sources as well. So when I found the information of Dr. Tennant, I was directly like, oh, this makes sense. I want to figure this out. And but today I make this video about show you the parallels between what I've learned and what I do, which is totally on the mental, spiritual, emotional level, and what Dr. Tennant is figuring out with science. Because in my mind at this moment in time, science and spirituality are coming together. We'll find out that we're talking about the same things, and for me this is a proof. So let me start. It all starts in the theory of Dr. Tennant with flipping the polarity, and that for me makes so much sense. For me, everything is energy. Everything is electrical. Everything has its own vibration. And what I learned to do, like 10 years ago, 9 years ago, I was blessed by being able to connect the dots in my life of today with things that happened in my childhood. And for my conscious level, my brain level, that was not easy to do. I could not do it. But using my feelings, I could do that. And flipping the polarity is, so I was living in victimhood mode. Without being aware of it, but the decisions I made in my life as a 51-year-old man were hugely impacted what has happened in my childhood. So the way I made decisions, my convictions, my beliefs were based on the values in my family, maybe in school, my friends, but mostly what happened on personal level within my family. And I wasn't aware of it, but I have learned like survival behavior skills. And those survival behavior skills is what we learn ourselves to avoid similar problems when we're grown up, when we're older. To give an example, my childhood was difficult energy in the house. My father and my mother divorced when I was 4 years old, and it was like a fighting divorce. It was the year of 1968. At those times nobody got divorced. I was the only child in school with divorced parents, and there was a lot of difficult energy. My father really made it difficult for my mother to continue with her children, and there was a lot of fighting in the house, and then later on a lot of fighting with lawyers and stuff like that. And as a young child, I've been in several situations which were too difficult for me to handle. I walked into the bedroom of my parents where my father was about to be aggressive with my mother, and I hid in the toilet, and my father was banging on the door, get out, and screaming and stuff like that. And there were other moments in the bathroom, and well, those are difficult. Those are moments too difficult to deal with when you're really young. And the emotions are so big, we can't deal with it, and there have been plenty of those moments. And then what we do, we learn survival behavior. So later in life, when we're in similar situations, we have a trick. Some people need chocolate. If there's a difficult moment, which is similar, which we're not aware of, but from our unconscious part, there's this need for sugar or for chocolate. It's the reason why other people smoke. When they're in a difficult situation, they need a cigarette, like, now I feel good. Why? Smoking takes away the edges. It's the reason why people drink, to forget, to not be aware of the energy of that day. It's the reason why people take drugs. Some people need to have an orgasm, need to have sex or ejaculate or have an orgasm. And other people get really angry inside. And maybe they don't show it, but they tell, well, if looks could kill, I would drop dead now. And some people run away. Say, oh, you stay here and I go walk with the dog, talk to the hand because the face ain't listening, I'm leaving. And there are more examples. Well, I know most of them, but the trick is we're not aware of it. And I was blessed with that I was able to get the insight that my moments in my life as an adult man were connected with the childhood moments. And if I was in that situation, for instance, if an employee said yes but did no, or if my daughter didn't want to listen, or if my brother didn't respect me, then I would have this need. There were difficult moments for me. And those were moments I needed to eat chocolate. And I know from practice almost all of those behavior. Maybe not the drugs, but I know them all. The drinking, the smoking, the needing for an orgasm, to buy yourself a new iPhone when you have a shit week, or maybe women buy new shoes. I know all of them. But at that moment I became aware of the mechanism, and so I decided to investigate. And from the mind, it doesn't make sense that your problems as a 4-year-old walking into the bedroom of your parents and seeing that energy, and you hiding in the toilet and your father begging out, come out, or some similar moments are connected with the moment that one of your employees doesn't listen or lies or whatever. But when you use your emotions to get back to the feeling of that moment of last week or last month or this morning, and you use that emotion, okay, what is the oldest memory that you had this emotion, that you had that feeling inside of you, that will bring you back within seconds or minutes back to, oh, I was in the bathroom, my father was there, there's the same fear, or the same energy, whatever. So the mind doesn't work that well, but the feelings, the emotion, is really good. So with some help, of course I had help. It was in the summer of 2016. I managed to figure out. So my entrance point was that I was aware of my survival behavior. Oh, I smoked this, I did this. So it's all things that we do have a short-term solution, but on the long run they're not healthy. Smoking kills you, but on the short term it takes down the energy. Drinking alcohol isn't wise, but we do it anyway. But on the long term it's not. It's very destructive. So are all those things. So from my behavior, I became like an observer of myself, and learned to watch my thoughts, learned to watch my emotions, learned to watch my words, my reactions, and so I became an observer. And I learned to not react instantly, but I learned to respond. So there was a situation, I was evaluating myself, and I didn't react, but maybe 1 minute later or 10 seconds later I could respond from a more balanced, harmonious way. So looking for several weeks at myself, being an observer of myself, I've got clear, okay, these are the moments that are difficult for me. And with some more help, I was able to connect those moments, those difficult moments of my daily life at that moment, with my childhood. And I was a guy 51. I thought I left it all behind. I forgot my father. He's already dead and stuff like that. And I was not in contact with him anymore, and I already left him behind, and I thought he had no impact in my life. But that wasn't true. So the next phase in my growth was that I began to feel really guilty towards my children, towards my ex, towards other people. Why? Well, I haven't made really big mess of my life, but there have been several moments when I have overreacted. For instance, when I came home after work, I've been divorced before, but I had a second partner already for 12 years, and when I came home, she could never give me a kiss. Open the door, and there was maybe a moment like this, but for me, it felt like this. So there was difficult moments for me. I cook every day, and she could never sit down at the table. Always something to do. So many moments during the day like this, like that. And but certainly have been moments in my life when I've overreacted to my children or to my ex or to my other ex or whatever. And I became aware of my own pattern. Oh fuck. So in this moment that she's not giving me a kiss, I don't feel welcome, not feel seen, not feel loved. It triggered the old trauma, old pain inside of me of not being loved, not feeling welcome. So those feelings were triggered. So that's why I overreacted. And so I made a conscious decision that I didn't want to do it anymore. So I really studied myself hard and became a strong observer. And but I also started to feel very guilty. I had overreacted, so I wrote a letter to the daughter of my ex-girlfriend, and I called in my children. I have 3 children. I cooked a meal for them, and I told them what I learned, and I apologized. I called the ex-wife, my ex-wife, the mother of my children, and what I've learned, and I shared my insights, and so several people came onto my path, and I felt so guilty, and I apologized, and I made it real decision. I will not do this again. And in fact, I almost did it again, but if I did it again, if I overreacted on the work or with my daughter or with somebody, then maybe 10 or 5 or 15 minutes later, I came back, I said, sorry, I overreacted, I apologize. It was not about you, it was me. I'm learning something and I need more time, but I apologize. So I've been feeling guilty for like 2 weeks. And then after 2 weeks, it came to me, said, okay, Jan, now you know, and now you try not to do it anymore. And if you do it, you take responsibility. 6 months ago, or maybe 6 years or 16 years ago, you did it, but you were not aware of it. So you didn't do it intentionally. So how guilty should you be? And well, it took me another couple of days. And then after those days, I could forgive myself. But the nice thing is, when you learn about yourself, you learn to understand yourself, you see your own mechanism, you also start to understand other people. So, for instance, that my ex-girlfriend couldn't give me a kiss. It was not about me, no, that was her being unable to express that way. I saw my clumsiness as a grown-up man due to what happened in my childhood, and I knew about her childhood, so it all made sense. It wasn't about me. And if my problem was like this in my childhood, my father was already dead in the year 2016, but after he was dead, because I never talked about the childhood with my father, I never talked a lot with him, but his trauma was like this. He had some very difficult moments during the Second World War with his parents, and not nice. So it also made sense that he was also being clumsy, being a victim of his own childhood experiences. So it's like a chain. So he was a victim in his childhood, and then he became responsible for creating new victims with his own children by being clumsy. And the nice thing is, if you can forgive yourself, It's peanuts to forgive other people. So I could forgive my father and my mother, or whatever happened. Well, my mother turned into a disappointed woman at the age of 43. After that she never smiled again. So I grew up with an absent father and a mother who was disappointed and with a lot of difficult energy. And but once again, if you can forgive yourself and you see the pattern inside of yourself, you understand other people. You even understand society. Well, we won't touch this video, but it all makes sense. So, if you can forgive yourself, you can forgive other people. And that's like ego. Oh, for my big heart, I forgive you now. No, that's not it. It's like when you forgive, you can't change the past, but you can change your opinion about the past. You can change your feeling, your judgment about the past. And I realized that at the end of the summer, I was a different guy. I did my change in like 7 weeks. I was a different guy with different energy. I made a move from victimhood to personal responsibility. So I cleared myself in my behavior of today of the impact of the past. I got rid of my limiting beliefs, my convictions who didn't serve me. So, and actually I developed a gratitude for my childhood because I was really happy with the guy I became at this moment. I was happy with my energy. Life responded to me very differently. It's really amazing. That's why I'm making these videos. That's why I wrote the book. That's why I tell people, because I have a gift to share. And now we come back to you, Dr. Tennant. So I flipped the polarity of my judgment over my past. On an unconscious level, I was living like a victim, and I had judgment that it wasn't, what my father did wasn't nice, and my childhood was shit, and blah, 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 and lived like a victim all my life. And now I had a different opinion. I forgave myself, I forgave everybody, I accepted the past, and actually I changed polarity. I was grateful for whatever had happened. So there was the same mechanism. And of course that summer I learned to love myself. In general, what is the mechanism if we are young? So we are in difficult situations, and on a subconscious level we learn tricks. Smoking, maybe not doing it, smoking, drinking, being angry inside, not expressing your feelings, but there's no room for that, and all those things. At the same time, many people grow like a really behavior to show that I'm going to show that I'm worth it. I'm going to study, get good grades, make money, start a company, and later when I'm a parent, I'm going to be a completely different parent that I've had in my childhood. I'm going to be a different father. I did that, and if you look at the most successful business people in the world, they share a really shitty childhood. They've been abandoned or stuff like that, because they really got their drive. And we all know that. So we have the survival behavior. Oh. It's still working, good. I've got a message, my battery is empty, so I'll run up. So we have the survival behavior and we have the compensation behavior. We're going to really work hard. And later in life, for people like me, and for many people like you, it's more easy to take care of other people than to take care of ourselves. So we pay, we help you to move, we do the dishes, I take care of this, you go do that. And it's more easy to take other people than take care of ourselves. So we're looking for confirmation with other people. And why is it like that? Well, because when we were young, we came to a false conclusion. I'm not good enough to receive the love or the money or the guidance or the protection of my father. And if you have a lot of moments like that in young childhood, you come to the subconscious conclusion, I'm not good enough. And that inhibits you to give love to yourself, because you don't deserve it. So we take care of other people. We pay, we do, we clean, we move, we help, and we sacrifice ourselves. And if another person says, "Oh, Jan, without your help, I wouldn't be able to do it," then we feel seen, and we feel valued and appreciated, and we feel good. So we're sharing a very conditional love. Why? We're looking for appreciation. But that conclusion in our childhood of not being good enough to receive love or guidance or protection or whatever was a false conclusion. My father not giving that to me and divorcing and not wanting to pay and all the stuff, it was never about me. It was about him being clumsy, being a victim and living out his own childhood trauma. So the false conclusion inhibits me. So the big trick is you learn to love yourself. And that summer I started to learn to love myself. With tricks, it's what I teach other people nowadays. And how can you love yourself? But I learned to love myself unconditionally. And if you can fulfill yourself with your need of love and respect and to be listened to, so I respect myself, I trust myself, I listen to myself, I can be intimate with myself. And if all my needs are fulfilled, then I can share my respect and my trust unconditionally. So my world changes because I respond changes. I don't react, but I respond. And it's very simple. You will harvest what you put in the soil, but you can't seed what you don't have. So you're the source. It all starts with you loving you, listening to you, taking care of you. So all the things that Dr. Tennant teaches, like taking good care of your body, eat well, drink well. If you need to go to the toilet, go to the toilet. If you're tired, go sleep. Do exercise. Go into nature. Walk on the bare soil, at least an hour. It's all the same. It's taking care of you, and it will make you really powerful. But it all starts with getting rid of the past. So I teach people 3 things. Learn to accept the past, forgive yourself, understand yourself, and forgive others. Clean your behavior in the here and now of the shadow side of your youth. In the here and now, you learn to love yourself unconditionally. And it doesn't matter what other people say or do or think. Of course you respect them because you respect yourself. You respect everybody. And many people are afraid, if you learn to love yourself, then I can't share it to my children or my partner. No, that's bullshit. Love is not like a can of love and drink it all myself, now I have no more. No, love is like the faucet. It's abundance. So, accept the past, learn to love yourself unconditionally and share that energy and overcome your fears. For many people, fear for the future, or maybe desires, but beyond desires are fears too. If you overcome your fears, then you can make decisions as a free man or free woman. You're not bothered by the past, you're not afraid of the future, and here you love yourself unconditionally. And that's what will make you a really powerful person. So, it doesn't matter what your parents had in mind for you, these dreams, you need to follow me in my company. No, you become an authentic person. You will do what you like, but you will take good care of yourself. And by understanding yourself, you understand other people. So, flipping the polarity, the judgment, flipping the polarity inside of yourself. No more, I need love. No, I learn to give it to myself. I send love, I send respect, I send confidence and trust. So it's all the same mechanism. The same with the future. So we're really powerful people. So if you are always afraid, then you probably most likely, certainly, you'll attract situations that will feed that fear. You understand? You're the source. Learn, everything is energy. So not only your body and your voltage and your mini voltage and your polarity, your thoughts. the feeling inside, your feelings, your emotions, your words, your beliefs, your actions. So you're so powerful, but for many people this is not that easy. If you've been living for 50 years in victimhood, it's not easy to make the switch to say, oh, but I'm responsible. I can respond differently. I can think differently. I can speak differently. I can act differently. No, I can explain it to you within 30 minutes. And maybe you need the rest of your life to do it, but I'm telling you, it's worth it. Go do it. Your mind, your words, your heart, your feelings, you switch the polarity. So this is what I want to share you. Of course, I can speak for months. I have learned so much. I had like 9 years traveling, reading, writing, investigating and experimenting with my body. So Dr. Tennant, I'm very grateful. You're right. For me, electricity and magnetism, so there wasn't enough time to interact, but that's also very powerful, and I think there's more things to judge. If I can, I'll do my best to support you, but first I'm gonna follow up all your advices on a natural way, because I don't have the money to buy $10,000-12,000 machines. And I do my counseling for free, so I don't make that much money, but I have a beautiful Airbnb, and but I'll be the guinea pig of what I've learned at your place for the next couple of months. In a couple of months I'll make a new video, or probably I'll come back to Irving we're going to test again, and maybe then there's more time to talk and to share. But I made this video for you, and I told the girls who work for you that I would make one, so they will probably see it too. And some of the participants, I will share the link. I will put it up on YouTube, and so I will notice people that they can see it. But this is my message. I wrote a book. If you want to read it, it's for free. I've got it in PDF. You send me an email, and I send you the book. And of course, everybody's more than welcome here in Costa Rica. I put my my website, my information in the link. But Dr. Tennant, thank you very much. It makes so much sense, and I can feel that's going to be, I hope that you live to see your work become really appreciated and being successful. But I know there are several persons around you who believe in you and who will do whatever they can to make the world aware of this, so that we can have a different future, because the world will change. But it's not that people will change because the world changes. No. The world will change because people will change. So if you need to make choice, need to save the world, save you. Do you. Do what Dr. Tennant teaches you. Take care of your teeth. That's my first step. Change your food. Do exercise. Be aware of what put you in there. And change my part is, and Felicia's part I think, but I think you do it a little bit different. Take care of your inner side, and that's how you will change the world. You will inspire the shit out of your family and friends. They will come asking you, what kind of pills do you take? Oh, I like the new Jan, I like the new Charlotte, or whatever. So that's all for now. Thank you for watching, because I have to tend to talk too much. Greetings from Costa Rica and the dogs. I'm going to make breakfast for my clients, and first walk another 15 minutes. Thank you so much. Take care.